Now let's talk about the minimum viable product by Eric Ries. I'm going to introduce you to Eric Ries in a second, but I want to introduce you to the idea first, okay? And this is essentially industry standard for how to create technical products. So do not do anything before you totally understand this. So you start with an idea, maybe an idea you currently have, let's say it's an app or some software or something else, and then you build a little product minimum. You see, minimum is like one of the keywords, and then you launch it. Okay, you launch it, and then you get feedback. You get analytics feedback, you get to talk to people and place it into their hands, and the feedback you get from people who have used your product is far more insightful than people who just heard your business pitch. When you only have your business pitch, it's fantastic. But the next level up to get feedback is to give them some little product to use. And you learn from that data and you update your product, improve it a tiny, tiny little bit. And the theme here is small incremental improvements, and the initial launch is also small. Why small? Because it's faster and cheaper. And you're not using your assumptions. It's minimally using your assumptions, and you're using more hard data, hard feedback from real customers. So you're minimizing mistakes and you're eliminating waste. Okay, that's the whole point. And this optimizes your development and product improvement cycle until you are able to create a good product. There is, of course, one common mistake that happens all the time. I've done it myself, and it's creating a minimal product and forgetting the word viable. Viable has to be, there has to be few enough bugs. The usability has to be good enough, or at least reasonable enough for people to use it. Otherwise, the feedback isn't useful. Okay. So here's another visual that helps to represent this concept. You see, it has to be minimum and viable. That overlap. You see that? Okay. Don't give people, you see on the bottom left, crappy products nobody wants to use. Don't give people that. You'll get the wrong feedback. And you don't want to overdo it on the other hand either, because you're going to make the same mistake. The very mistake that this whole methodology is meant to prevent you is that you don't want to overbuild. Because as engineers, if you sit in your office or your garage for a year, you're going to talk to so many people and program so many features, and you're going to get so many ideas on top of your ideas, like, oh, and this will be cool, and this will be cool, and this will be cool. But that's only an assumption about which you're excited about. First of all, you already know the fallacy of being excited. And secondly, even if you're not excited, it's only your opinion, unproven by the market. The way to prove it by the market is essentially to put it into people's hands. That's the whole value of this. So you make it as minimum but viable as you can. Put that into customers' hands, get the feedback, improve, then put that improved product into customers' hands, get the feedback, improve. And so many such cycles is the way to make very winning products. Okay, this is MVP by Eric Ries. Who is Eric Ries? Let's introduce you to him a little bit. Eric Ries is a writer and a very successful entrepreneur. He's got this concept. The lean startup is essentially built around this model of the MVP. And he's got a very popular book, The Lean Startup, and he's also, see, as a speaker. He's very well known in the technology and entrepreneurship industry. And here, this is his website that we're essentially going from, and he advises in companies and he mentors companies. He's one of the giants. Not these days, he's essentially one of the giants in the technology industry. So he's a good guy to follow. His book is The Lean Startup. I'm going to show you that on Amazon. And again, when I show you books on Amazon, I don't get paid for selling this book, but this is essentially his books. You see, he has very good reviews, but essentially you already know the main idea, which is the MVP, minimum viable product. It's the core idea of this book. Obviously, this book has ideas on top of it, but this is the core. And so what I'd like you to do is actually strip down your idea. If you have a business idea, strip it down a little bit to the core so that it's way faster for you to make, way simpler, and you can launch it way sooner.